Y'all ready? Let's go. What's poppin', everybody? Get in here, everybody, get in here. It's time for what? For a legendary show. I really hope Erica Banks does not get upset, but if she decides to unfollow me, I understand. I'm going to tell you guys what happened before I give my opinion. Let's go through the story. Then I'm going to give you my opinion. There was the rapper Young Baby Tate. Remember her? I only knew her from being on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and she was dating Guap Dad 4000 and got dumped or whatever. And then also she wears the booty do, the stomach that stick out farther than your booty do. She's one of the women who don't pull the pants or the whatever over the belly button. She kind of lets it rest underneath the gut. I don't know why that, usually women, you pull it up a little bit. You know what I mean? You just have this mid part. You don't actually let the stomach flap over. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Anywho, so that's how I know her, because some of her pictures are very triggering for me. But anywho, so she, apparently a fan asked her to do a record with, or to try to get a feature from Nicki Minaj. And this is what she responded. One of the most viewed videos on her challenge. LOL, I highly doubt sending it to her would garner a response at this point. Well, you're never getting a response then. And remember, let's just sit there for a minute. Remember, Bia had to wait. Remember, Bia waited 2 or 3 years. Nicki never seen her until she wanted to make a moment. Remember, Bia never. Remember, she said that Bia was sitting in a DM for 2 or 3. Nicki does that. There's not a need for you right now, Young Baby Tate. You have to understand that. But I'm going to get into it. Because there's a lot to unpack here. So people were kind of like dragging her, I guess. And she said, nobody owes me anything. I can have my emotions, though. And that's okay. Have a good life. Y'all are so annoying. My God. I see her interact with, follow, love artists I personally think can't rap at all. And I like ride for fans, but I feel like I get ignored. And that hurts my feelings, which is 100% valid for me to feel. Get off my blank. Then Erica Banks enters the room.
Thought he was a freak till he met me.
Oh, wait. Erica Banks enters and says, I feel her. Let me see where that's at. Okay, boom. Erica Banks enters the room and says, I feel her. A fan wrote, Nicki Minaj shows Lauryn Hill so much love and gives her so much flower to this day and still don't have a feature with her. Yo, I don't see her complaining. If you genuinely love an artist, then you just genuinely love them. Feature or not. Then I went and did some research and realized that Erica Banks was no longer followed by Nicki Minaj. Then we found out that Erica Banks had been blocked. Okay, so here's a video clip of Erica Banks explaining what had happened. And then we're going to address, then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts.
A feature, I wouldn't even be worried about following or showing love or any of that. I have continued to do that because it's genuine, and that is where my heart is at with Nicki Minaj.
Hold on, let me bring it back.
Okay, I want to get on here and address the Nicki Minaj situation because it's becoming misunderstood and misconstrued, and people are even thinking I went so far as to unfollow Nicki Minaj, and I need to clear this up because this is my favorite artist. So I have a lot of respect for her, enough to even get on here and just clear this up because I don't need this narrative being painted of me. So first of all, I never unfollowed Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj blocked me, y'all. Yesterday, y'all blocked me. I'm talking about I'm in shambles. Like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening? I'm serious. Like, I'm being real with y'all. I'm having a real moment right now, like a real fan moment. I could not believe it. And I meant no harm by what I said. If you know, you know. If you don't, whatever. I made a comment on a post that I agree with, and I was coming from a fan's point of view. And I want to explain that because a lot of y'all are getting it misunderstood and thinking that the whole thing is about a feature. The thing is not about a feature, okay? It's deeper than that. It's about the love that we fans have for Nicki Minaj, because when we're talking about our idol or somebody that we look up to or somebody that we've been looking up to since we were young or since we were kids, it hits a deep spot in our heart when we felt like, damn, why haven't we worked with Nicki Minaj? Like, why haven't we got in, why haven't we put something together? Like, yeah, we love each other and she shows us massive love and we appreciate it to the fullest. Don't ever underestimate me of anybody for appreciating the support that Nicki Minaj gives me, because she's been supporting me for the past year. If it was about a feature, I wouldn't even be worried about following or showing love or any of that. I have continued to do that because it's genuine, and that is where my heart is at with Nicki Minaj. All I was saying was, us fans, we're still fans even though we're artists. We do get in our feelings, and our feelings do get hurt when we feel like you don't want to work with us. You know what I'm saying? And how can you blame us for feeling like that? Because this is our favorite artist we talking about. Like, it's a beautiful thing for us to even get a follow or a like or a comment. And I have never been ashamed to say that I'm a super fan for Nicki Minaj or anything that we interact doing. I'm a super fan. Always been. You know what I'm saying? So if I see someone say anything that I can relate to in regards to Nicki Minaj, I feel like it's okay for me to voice my opinion about it, because it's not coming from an ill place. It's coming from a genuine place. Who doesn't want to work with her? You know what I'm saying? So we are just fans, and we love her that much that we feel a way when we don't work with her but see her work with other people. That's not hating. That's not jealousy. A lot of people like to throw that in there. That's just us being human. That's just us having feelings. That's just us really feeling the hurt from seeing Nicki Minaj work with other artists but not work with us, and it's okay for us to feel like that. We're not bad people for having our feelings hurt. We're not bad people for expressing our love for Nicki Minaj. We're not bad people. You know what I'm saying? But I guess sometimes we might forget that our favorite celebrity or our favorite rapper is still human. So she may have her reasons as to why she hasn't worked with this person or me or this person or this person. And I'm not upset at her for that. All I was doing was voicing my opinion and saying that this is how I feel about this. You know what I'm saying? It was no disrespect. Nothing was disrespectful about it. I couldn't even believe I got blocked, y'all. I cannot believe I got blocked. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people were saying I unfollowed her. I'm like, who? Who? And then I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna just dead it. A lot of people like to act like, oh, I'm cool either way, whether I do a song with my favorite celebrity or not. You're lying. You're lying. If your favorite rapper, singer, anybody, if your favorite artist call you right now and say, let's do this song, you're gonna do it. So why do people act like it's not a big deal? It's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal to not get a chance to work with your favorite artist, and maybe it's not time. Maybe they're not ready, and that's perfectly fine. But that does not mean that we cannot express how we feel about it if it's not disrespectful. So I just needed to get on here and just clarify that up and say, I was commenting and coming from a fan's place and coming from a place of loving Nicki Minaj by voicing that my feelings too are hurt because we haven't worked together yet. And I can feel like that. I love Nicki Minaj. I will always love Nicki Minaj. If I could go follow her right now, I would, but I'm blocked, child. So I love y'all. I love all my fans. I love everybody. And I just needed to say that and get that off my heart. Any negative comments, you will be blocked. Don't even waste your time.
Okay. I'm trying to kind of get my words together, right? Because on one hand, I totally agree with how she feels. I'm trying to take it from my perspective. Have I been there feeling like, you know what? I've been at a young baby Tate space before. I can use T.S. Madison when she had the Queen's Court. And she was just like, she had all these people coming on her platform. And I'm like, girl, but I talk to you all the time. I'm cool with you. We work together. I mean, like, we talk behind the scenes. It's this, that, and the third. But girl, you never see it for me to come on your platform. So I did feel away because she was somebody that I really looked up to do that. However, she's saying that Nicki never acknowledged her. So at the same time, you do have the right. I mean, you could feel how you want to feel. I'm trying to like feel it on both ends. You could honestly feel how you want to feel. Erica has a right to feel like, girl, why we ain't work together? You can feel that way. Young baby Tate, you can feel like, girl, why you know, she working with all these other girls, you know, why she not working for me? She don't see it for me. I got the, you know, the highest views, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You can feel that way all day long. However, where you go wrong, and even where I went wrong, you don't need to outwardly say it. You know what I mean? I don't think that either one of them played the right chess game. You can feel how you want to feel all day long. You can call your friends and vent about it, call people on the phone behind the scenes and vent about it. But you definitely don't go to social media and cry about it. Now, when we're talking about especially female rappers, right? You guys are supposed to be tough. You guys are supposed to be hard. I wouldn't be worried about a Nicki Minaj feature right away. You know, everybody's writing. I want a Nicki feature. Listen, don't look so thirsty, right? Now, when it comes to Erica Banks specifically, should Nicki Minaj have blocked her? Absolutely not. I don't think that she should have blocked her. But I don't think that Erica Banks really strategically thought that out, because it sounded like from the tweet that young baby Tate wrote and then the way Erica Banks responded, it honestly sounded like, and then from Erica Banks's video, Erica Banks saying, my feelings are hurt because I haven't got a chance to work with her. Well, your feelings don't get to be hurt because you didn't work with me. We're not friends. I haven't talked to you she doesn't talk to you on the phone. Y'all not hanging out. Y'all not cool like that. So how are your feelings hurt? She doesn't have to work with you. It's no shade. Your feelings are not allowed to get hurt. You could be in your feelings, but how are your feelings hurt? This is a business. Y'all are not friends. See, it's different if you guys were friends and she was working with everybody around you and never working with you. Maybe then your feelings could be hurt. Maybe your feelings could be hurt if you're charting and you're selling records and you're doing this and you're an asset or whatever, or you're helping her with her business and you're doing things. You're giving her, you know, you're helping her with music and you're giving her ideas, and yet she goes and starts giving features to the Coi Lerais of the world and everybody around you and not giving you an opportunity. Then your feelings can be hurt. Your feelings don't get to be hurt because you think that you should get a feature with her because you've had one record and you have 400,000 followers. It's no shade. You haven't done enough to be able to just get a feature from Nicki Minaj to where your feelings should be hurt if you don't get it. Maybe your ego could be hurt because you feel like, I'm a better rapper than half these girls. I'm a better rapper than Bia. I'm a better rapper than Coi Leray. I'm a better rapper than such and such. So that's more of your ego, but your feelings shouldn't be hurt because y'all are not friends. You've not done work together. So I think it comes across a little clout chasey. No shade. I just got to keep it a bean. It does come across a little clout chasey because I think for Erica, it wasn't really worth the relationship for young baby Tate. Young baby Tate, Erica is bigger than young baby Tate. Young baby Tate is going nowhere fast. We don't even care. She's loving hip hop, anything else. She went and did that. She got in her feelings. She got frustrated. See, in this business, and I've learned this because I've been guilty of it, right? In Erica Banks is young. She's what, 22, 23? So she's learning, and we've all been there. This is why I'm trying to give her grace, but you got to kind of tell it like it is. And the only reason why I've known this thing because I've made mistakes like this, right? So I'm not even all the way on here trying to like bash her, but we got to keep it real. At the end of the day, that wasn't the greatest chess move. You don't go and say something like that, under young baby Tate on the Shade Room when you know they're going to take that and repost that and it's going to make you look a certain kind of way. Like, all right, bitch, I'm tired of, it almost came across like, I'm tired of bigging you up. I'm tired of kissing your way. Like, am I going to actually get anything from this? It almost seemed like the love was not really genuine. It was only to do it to see if you can get a feature, and you kind of got burnt out because you felt like you were doing it so long and you didn't get anything for it yet. And see, what a lot of people with power and money and just access, what you don't realize is people will stall and starve you out to see, are you really genuinely there for them? Like, you never know. Your feature could have been coming next week, but you cracked because you felt like, dang, like it wasn't, if it was genuine, you would have gotten it, right? But there was an expiration date on how long you felt like you wanted to show the support. That's how it comes across, because the minute somebody else showed some frustration, that was your time, and you was like, damn, I feel her, I'm on that too. So it was kind of like you were getting tired of showing the fake love. And if you if you give a person enough rope, eventually they'll hang themselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to plan for the long game. You know, sometimes a person will literally stall you out for 5 years. Let's see if you really rock with me. Let's see if you really cool. I ain't gonna acknowledge you for 3-4 years. But on that 4th year, if you still here supporting me, you put in that work. And I'm gonna reward you, and I'm gonna work with you because I know that you really rock with me. But if you can't really make it, you're gonna end up, if you're not really genuine, you're gonna end up showing yourself. So sometimes people will do that to see if you're really supporting them. You know what I mean? People will do that. They'll test you. They'll see, okay, this person this person said that they like me. Let's see. I'm not going to acknowledge them. I'm not going to bring them on my show. I'm not going to talk about them. They're not my friend. Let's see if they really rock with me. Let's see if they really rock with. I'm only going to give them a little bit of a breadcrumb. I mean, I've done that to people. There's content creators that, oh, I love you. Da, 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 da. The minute they feel like they're not getting on my show, or I'm not going to do a collab with them, you know, they're dragging me. Girl, I knew it. I knew you was fun. I knew you didn't really care. I knew you just was trying to see if you was going to get on the show. This is why I'm not working with that girl, because I already knew that you was only trying to act like you like me to try to do a collab. You know what I mean? And the minute you felt like you wasn't going to do a collab, you was back dragging me. People do that all the time. So I think that that's what Erica Banks kind of looked like. And then, not to mention, I don't think it was a good chess move for Erica Banks, and Erica Banks specifically. I really don't really care about young baby Tate, because young baby Tate, I don't think that Erica Banks should have sacrificed herself for for young baby Tate, and she probably didn't even realize that she did it. But young baby Erica Banks, it was not a great move on her end, because let's be very clear here. Since we're talking about it, let's talk about it. You don't have Megan Thee Stallion. That was just a given. You were not going to get Megan Thee Stallion because to be honest, if Carl and Meg would have never fallen out, I don't know if we would have even had an Erica Banks so soon. Because a little bit of that was Carl being a little bit spiteful and trying to get another girl. Erica Banks is very talented, but at the same time, we got to call a spade a spade. Had Megan Thee Stallion still been there, Erica Banks still would have been kind of going through the hustle. Let's be real here. Okay, Erica, that by default is not happening. The Meg, the Erica, that's not happening. Then the Cardi B thing comes. Cardi B is cool. You know, she gets Erica on the record. People are saying, it's all on Twitter, it's going viral. We didn't really talk about it here because those are both my girls. I don't want them beefing or anything, but people are noticing, well, Erica Banks is not really trying to show Cardi love. Erica Banks is not really supporting Cardi. Erica Banks is finally thanked Cardi on Twitter, but didn't want to thank her on Instagram, where she was following Nicki, where Nicki Minaj was following her, because she didn't want to lose the Nicki Minaj follow. And now it comes across like, girl, and then she followed Cardi B when she got on the Bruise soundtrack. Then she unfollowed Cardi B. So to Cardi and Nicki, they're both premier girls. You can see, oh, Nicki on one end is like, oh, girl, you want to thank her on Twitter, but you don't want to thank her over here where I'm following you, because you think what? You still want to get that feature. So Nicki, oh, I'm peeping how you moving. Just be genuinely you. If you fool with Cardi, fool with Cardi. She got you on the record, thank her. You know what I'm saying? Leave it there. Don't try to thank her on Twitter and not thank her on Instagram, or follow her then unfollow her, because even the person that you're trying to impress, they're going to pick up on that, and they're going to be like, oh, she's a little bit of an opportunist. Even if that's not the case, even if you just don't want to be in the middle of no mess, people going to look at that like, oh, girl, she trying to sneak behind me and do some weird stuff. Okay, girl, I'm watching her. And then for Cardi, it's almost like, oh, girl, I see how you moving. You really don't rock with me. It is what it is. So now, boom, you got Meg Thee Stallion out the way. You don't have Cardi. And now Nicki has blocked you. So I'm only saying that to say it's very important in this business as a female or as an artist, period, to have allies. The top 3 female rappers, now you don't have any one of them as an ally. That was not a smart move. You don't have Meg, you don't have Cardi, now you don't have Nicki Minaj. This is why it's also important because you never know how these girls are feeling. You never know. A lot of these girls are shady. You could think that you're doing this to appease Nicki Minaj, and the whole time she looking at you like, oh, girl, you just trying to get something from me. And so you're really not even in her mind anyway. Meanwhile, you're burning bridges with other girls. Honestly, I don't think she burnt the bridge with Meg. The bridge with Meg was burnt when she got on the scene. But I do think that she could have had a healthy relationship with Cardi B. They didn't have to be friends. At least publicly, she could have still supported Cardi B, and they could have made it look nice publicly. You didn't have to be, BFS with Cardi B, but you damn sure didn't have to be like thanking her on the under and following and unfollowing her, making it look weird. I would have just stayed neutral, and I would have not said nothing about nothing. And then 2, when it comes to these girls wanting features and things like that, if you don't think that Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, they're not very calculated and meticulous about who they're going to work with, and if you don't think that they realize that them doing a record with another girl puts that girl into another level and dimension, you're crazy. You have to, and let's be very clear, and then they're female rappers too. And I don't understand this narrative, and I think social media has done this, and I think we people, us bloggers, commentators, fans, we've done this so much, especially with females in particular. We have made it like all females have to collaborate together to show that they're not haters or jealous of these other girls. But when you get a person like a Cardi B, a Nicki Minaj, and then you have these other girls like Young Baby Tate or Erica Banks, it's like, what can you do for Cardi B or Nicki Minaj? Just because you have one song or a couple of songs and a few 100,000 followers does not mean that you are on the same level of a Nicki Minaj or of the same caliber right now. It doesn't mean that you'll never be there, but you have a long way to go. There's more work that needs to be done for you to just we haven't even heard a full studio album from Erica Banks. What is Nicki Minaj featuring on? Where's the benefit for Nicki Minaj? So how are your feelings hurt? She doesn't owe you anything. You get what I'm saying? Like, we just have to be real here. And see, you also have to understand the artist can do what they want to do, right? So she can go, Nicki Minaj can say, hey, I want to do a record with B. I want to do a record with Coi Leray. Maybe she sees a benefit from doing a record with Coi Leray. Maybe she sees the benefit of doing a record with Bia. The Bia record was already hot. Coi Leray is kind of TikTok. Coi Leray is hot. If Nicki Minaj says, hey, I can make money, that's a good business move for me. I can enter, boom. So my thing is, just keep doing the work. Erica is right there. And I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't think that this was a good move, because it was like, girl, you need to have as many allies as you can, especially when you coming in almost under Meg's shadow. You don't want it. Then it's like 1501 got this other girl that they trying to push, which is trash. The Martina Marie, she's trash. And so I don't know if Erica and them is still cool or whatever, but I'm just like, you don't want to be just another girl that can rap good with a bunch of followers. That never really happens. You got to play chess. Megan Thee Stallion, one thing that Megan Thee Stallion did, she played chess. And so I love Erica, but this was not it. This was not the right move. And a lot of these girls be thinking that they should get these features. And you could feel that way all day long. You can cook these hoes behind the scenes with your girlfriend, but you don't go on, especially under a young baby Tate. You literally sacrifice your whole situation for a young baby Tate without even realizing it. But even before that, she wasn't playing the right chess game, because she was kind of like, you was fucking with Cardi, but then you really wasn't, and you really wasn't, but then you really was. But I would have just stayed neutral. I like Cardi, I like Nicki, I'm following. Neither one of them. My whole energy was, I'm out here, I'm Erica Banks. I know I'm rapping. I can get on the record with Cardi B. Hell, she might feel like she could out-rap Cardi. Let me tell you something about me. I'm gonna just tell you like this. But guess what? I don't have to go and say all of that. I'm Armon. Let the work show for itself. The fans will see. They'll catch up. They'll catch up. The people will catch up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be out. I'm not gonna listen. If I'm Erica Banks, I'd have been like, listen. I think I could body, even if she feel this way, she should. I think I'm harder than Nicki and Cardi. Well, they the ones on top. So she should have just sat there and been neutral. Because neither one of them is doing much for her. At least Cardi was putting her on a little bit. So she should have just stuck. Look, Cardi gave you a look. You can be over here. But honestly, you didn't have to pick no side. Know what you know. Do your thing. Keep it pushing. That just was not a good chess move. That was not a good like, Mulatto is the perfect example of keeping it. We don't know who she like or who really. She loved Cardi. She loved Nicki. She follow them both. Guess what? She gets shout outs from both. She get features from Cardi. I'm doing what I got to do for me. This is chess, not checkers. But I'm not. But I got to be strategic in how I move. Like that just. I don't know. That was just my thoughts on that. I just don't think that was the best move. I love Erica Banks, but it is what it is, child.
Moving on, doing better. Moving on, doing better. Yeah, now it's forever.